Hello everybody, this is Phoenix Feathers, and we are back with the bottom of the well. Last time, we got killed by a bomb. This time, I want to see if we can try to save our friend's sister. And the way we're going to do is, I'm going to see if, because it said that if you get default Alice, she can play through the true end. I want to play a custom Alice and see if, you can customize your Alice down to individual stat points if you wish. Although it is not recommended for your first playthrough, it is, however, advised for your subsequent playthroughs. You have to invest all 9 points before you can continue. Okay, so hopefully, I think this one should be able to get the true end. So let's start customizing her. Okay, clicking on the icons. Strike can have a maximum of 3 points. I have 9 points to invest, okay. So, let's invest survival, supplies. Okay, so there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I really want her to be survival heavy. I want her to survive through this. And put 1 in dating. 1 more in supplies. Supplies didn't really seem to help us, but we didn't get far enough for it to help us. Let's try putting 1 in dating, see how that affects the game. Alright, finish. Accept and start. Dream Diary, September 13, 2015. Today I had the weirdest dream in my life. I'm waiting for Joe to come online so I can talk to somebody about this. God, I feel like I'm going crazy. Alright, I didn't get to read that last time. It was entirely loose, but okay, you know what? I'm gonna skip this because we already read this last time, and I don't. It's not really important to this to read it again. We know what it says. So, like I said, it was the end of the world. Everything I did that day felt like the real thing. Every smell, every sound, every color, every touch. It's important you know that. I wasn't acting like I went in a dream. I didn't know it was a dream. Heavy. There was no warning, no build-up, nothing. Just between one moment and the next, the TV had turned to the emergency alert system, and this voice that sounded like it had been recorded in the 60s told us we were under attack. I do wonder what time period this is supposed to be. Were you alone? Maybe it is the 60s. At least in the dream. No, I was with Chess. We were on a date. Oh, we were kind of ignoring the movie. Although, shit, I think it was the new Star Wars. I saw that. That was good. See, this is different already. This time we're with Chess on a date. Wait, who's Chess? My boyfriend. I mean, I don't have a boyfriend, but in the dream I did. He a hunk? I'll take that as a yes. What happened then? Like I said, the TV suddenly turned to the emergency alert system, jacked the volume all the way up to. I didn't know they could do that even. The broadcast told us we were under attack right now and that we needed to get to shelter, that we had less than 30 minutes before the bombs hit. Jesus, sounds scary. At first, I didn't want to believe it. I switched the channel, but they were all the same. And then the sirens started. Tornado sirens, flood sirens, I don't know. And I knew things were serious. So what'd you do? Well, Chess was right there and he... Wait up, tell me more about this sudden new boyfriend of yours. I thought you weren't in the dating scene. Actually, I've been thinking of putting myself out there. Like maybe some online dating or something. Although I'm kind of afraid to check OkCupid right now. What if there's some guy named Chess? Good icebreaker. Hi, I'm Alice. I dreamed about you last night. You were my end of the world buddy. Funny. Aren't I, Jess? You were saying about Chess? What kind of name is that anyway? I wasn't, really. I mean, yeah. He was pretty hot, I guess. And smart. And into me. What more could you ask for? I can sense you blushing all the way over here. Maybe I should check my OkCupid profile, actually. So what did your boyfriend think? That's the thing. The moment they made the announcement, he got this face. Like panic. He tried calling a number, but the network was clogged. And then he jumped on my laptop for a moment to type up an email before basically just rushing towards the door. Said he had somewhere he needed to be. What? Without you? Well, I told him to wait and explain. He looked like he wanted to jump out of his skin, but he told me he had to go look for his sister. That makes sense, I guess. What'd you do? I asked him where she lives. And? In the Burrows, outside. See, so in this one, we don't know where she lives. In the last one, he talked about her, the sister, quite a bit, but this one, we don't know. That's pretty far, isn't it? It is, which is why he was in such a hurry. I wanted to ask if he needed help, but somehow it felt like I didn't. I mean, it felt like I would be imposing. You're weird, Al. So you just let him go? Yeah, well, just before he left, I made him tell me the address. Is it okay if I come check on you after? I asked. I don't know, I wasn't thinking. And then you kissed and hugged and that was that? Pretty much. After he left, I don't know. Had I made a mistake? Well, I knew that Chess wasn't gonna wait for me. If I wanted to go with him, I had to go right now. Just grab my stuff and go. Making quick decisions in the spur of the moment. Doesn't sound like you. So what'd you do? Went with Chess. I want to go with Chess. I want to try to save the sister. So I decided to go with Chess. How couldn't I? He clearly needed help. Altruistic. How long you'd been dating? Cynic. Long enough to know my feelings were real. They felt real. In the dream. Where did the sister live again? In a borough. Practically the suburbs. So pretty far. Chess said that he usually takes the subway or a bus. Chess actually lived just down the street, and we always had a customary place to meet. We didn't even need to confirm the place anymore, but it didn't seem very likely we'd be able to catch a bus or the subway. So how were you planning on getting to the sister in less than 30 minutes? Oh, spoiler, the bombs didn't start dropping on us within 30 minutes. It took longer than that. They did start, though. That's lucky. Yeah, well, it didn't mean we weren't in a hurry. But you didn't leave empty-handed, though, right? Oh, right. Yes, I grabbed the biggest bag I had. A backpack. People always called it magic. You could fit so much into it. Bigger on the outside and all that. Okay. So, we have a watch this time. And the closest thing I have to a tool in the house. Small enough to slip into my pocket, at least. My GPS runner's watch. Ooh, so we don't need a map. With real-time map, it keeps trying to connect to the internet to update itself. Okay, maybe it's not as useful as I thought. So, take first aid kit. Take food. Take radio. Take flashlight. Take other food. Okay, I think that's fine. We can take the spare clothes. No, we can't. Alright. What's this question mark? Okay then. Alright. Go on. Burrow, sister, bombs incoming. How did you plan to get there in the chaos? The chaos. Yeah. The streets were nuts. Everything and everyone was going crazy. Crashes everywhere, but no one was responding. The street was completely gridlocked. I'm talking maybe 15 minutes after the first announcement here. All it takes is a few cars in the wrong place. But you live pretty centrally, right? It had to be better further out. Did Chess have a car? No. But if we wanted a car, there were tons around. People just left them, keys in the ignition, and ran. Holy shit. It really must have been bedlam. It was. I was so scared. So, steal a car or walk? We discussed walking. It was like 14 miles or something. It'd probably take at least 4 or 5 miles on a good day. And this wasn't a good day. Maybe we could start though. Things might clear up outside the downtown area, and you might be able to steal a car there. Appropriate a car. Stealing sounds so criminal. Whatever you say. Any other options except stealing, appropriating a car, and huffing it? Something in between. I know a guy with a motorcycle. He really loves that motorcycle, but I wondered if maybe he'd be willing to borrow it. For fuck's sake, we were going to rescue a disabled woman. You know him well? Not really. It was a long shot, but potentially worth it. I didn't know you knew how to drive a motorcycle. I'm a woman of many talents. So what did you do? we're gonna walk, because last time we tried the motorcycle and we tried a car and all it did was waste our time, so we're gonna walk. I decided walking was the best option. The whole downtown area was gridlocked, cars everywhere, people running down the sidewalks and the sirens blaring. It was like one of those disaster movies, no hope of driving anywhere at any rate. But where was everyone going? Most of them were going home, I think. People were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. And there you were, running away from home. Once I made my decision, I stuck to it, no matter how much I was filled with doubt. Half an hour is nothing at all. But luckily that estimate was completely wrong. Sometimes I'll walk half an hour in the wrong direction just because I stubbornly refuse to believe I'm lost. I didn't know what was the right direction, but I did try to get wherever I was going as fast as possible. I stayed off the major roads, especially roads I knew led towards metro stations. Not that I was the only one who'd gotten that grand idea. Was there any danger? Like people attacking each other or something? No. I thought we were all going in the same direction, but then I realized the crowd was heading somewhere I hadn't planned to go, a subway station. What'd you do? I elbowed a few people and ducked and weaved my way out of there before I was swept too far along, but I did lose precious time. See, at least this time we didn't get swept along. Because we're tough this time. Time, yes. Isn't that the thing you're fighting here? How far away were you planning on getting? Well, a lot further than I had gotten at that point. I could practically still see my apartment building, but the crowd was slowly thinning at least, and I actually saw a vehicle in motion, an ambulance, weaving between stalled cars with its sirens blaring. What'd you do? What I planned to find improvement. I kept walking, intending to get away from danger before I had to stop walking. Chess's single-mindedness was what led me. I was pretty sure there was a monumental mistake and then we get caught outside and killed for sure, but I should have looked for shelter. So he kept walking. How did that work out for you? Well, I wasn't born yesterday. Even though a main road might have been faster, I decided to stay off it. If I saw a blockage of cars, I ran over them. Fuck the dents. If someone called out for help, I ignored them. Wow. Movement forward, that was all I cared about. I started jogging almost immediately. Did I mention I was like crazy buff in this dream? It was pretty rad. Anyway, with the adrenaline, it felt like I could keep it up indefinitely. Chess kept up. He was driven by worry and stress, and wasn't going to let something like physical exhaustion stop him. Well, once I got away from the downtown area, things were much smoother. I ran as fast as I could, as far as I could. No bombs, still no bombs. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe my luck. But I knew I was pushing it now. What did you do? We were getting closer, so we kept walking. You actually made it that far? How long was it until the bombs actually hit? I'm not entirely sure, but something like 2 hours? I think they hit everywhere else before they hit us. I'm not really sure why. Because it's a dream. Missile shield? Do we have one of those? I sincerely doubt it. Anyway, I knew that us getting this far was a miracle. Whatever hope we might have of finding a better shelter than Chess's sister's house was nil. I told him that, and he agreed. All we wanted to do was get there. How do you know Chess's sister's house is a great shelter? So, was she there? Come on, this is exciting. We went up to the door, and Chess started banging on it. After a few minutes, it opened on the chain, and I could just barely see a mop of pale hair and scared eyes. He told her it was him, and she immediately opened the door and jumped in his arms. Yes, we got to the sister! Jumped, so not a physical disability. It was, but she wasn't wheelchair-bound constantly. There was, however, a wheelchair in the entry hall. Anyway, we didn't really have time for niceties. The bombs were coming. Right. Miss Pragmatic. So, battle plan? I knew the most important thing was getting to shelter away from windows and walls. The bathroom in the center of the house seemed the safest. No basement? No basement. What about, like, food and things? Whatever the cupboard contained, we took with us to the shelter. Of course, and we tried to protect it as best as we could. Ooh, more food. So the bombs? They actually hit then, in the dream? The first thing that happened was the windows blew in. I just closed my eyes and pulled my knees and made myself as small as possible. Chess held his sister. The bombing continued for I don't know how long. But aside from the windows, we seemed to be pretty okay. Imagine what it must have been like downtown. Ooh, with all those skyscrapers. Oh, what did we get? A smiley face? I didn't want to think about what it was like downtown. It was scary enough out here. A few cars drove past and I heard sirens. At one point, I ventured out to glance out the window, once the bombs had stopped hitting, and I saw a city center in flames. But at least you got out. How long did you wait in the house? I also find it interesting how this updates, like ash rain. As long as the supplies lasted for 24 hours. As long as the supplies lasted. I don't know how safe the house was from fallout, really. Windows blasted open and all that, but it was pretty safe. It was probably safer than walking the streets. And as long as I only ate the uncontaminated food, it ought to be okay, I thought. All the food I had really did go, and in the end, I even had to supplement a bit from the cupboards. I'm sure it was fine. I also got to spend some time with Chess while we baited, and his sister. Her name was Mary, and she was just the nicest girl imaginable. She had this thing, Graves' disease, some kind of autoimmune thing in a way. She had to pop pills for it all the time. When I realized they were in fact iodine pills, I could have laughed and or cried. She was taking iodine? What? Okay. Iodine pills. They keep certain radioactive isotopes from entering the thyroid anyways. Point was, she had enough to share. Sounds nice though. Boyfriend time, I mean. Some perks of the apocalypse. Oh, clear skies. Yeah. Good God, he became so dramatic at the end. Ooh, drama. We don't want that. What did he do? He said I was the one. It was really dramatic, I'm telling you. But he told me that. He said he'd had 2 other girlfriends, but never in 1,000 years would either of them have come with him rushing across the city to rescue his sister. 3rd time's the charm? Why did a 1 appear on the screen? It just stuck with me, I guess. His one and only. No one ever said that to me before. Anyway, you ate through all your supplies, and then I wanted to keep going. There were a lot of other survivors on the road as well, and soon enough the rumors started circulating. There was a government evacuation center set up in the old college. Everyone was going there. The college? As in your college? Yep. Talk about coming back to the beginning. Anyway, that's where everyone was headed. There was just one minor problem. Oh. The river. There's a river? Not something I had thought about either. I didn't live anywhere near it, so whenever I crossed it, I just drove over it. But there it was, a geographical reality. So, I mean, the bridges were surely still there. Really, the bombs didn't destroy them? True, but when we approached them, we realized they were occupied. Uh-oh, by whom? I'm not sure. I saw them from afar and kind of ducked into cover. I saw immediately they weren't good news. They had guns and were harassing the other people who'd come to the bridge. I think they were mugging them. Did they let anyone pass? Yes, some. But I didn't know what the price was, or if they had some other criteria for letting people through. But you're badass Alice! Just beat the crap out of them! So what did you do? I decided to wait nearby and see what would happen. I went up to them and confronted them. There are other bridges across. I went downriver to find one. Ooh, choices. If we confront them, they might have weapons and kill us. If we wait nearby, they might confront us. If we go to the other bridges, they might be there as well. There's a lot of bad with this. But we're badass. We're not Dark Alice, though. The next playthrough, I want to play as Dark Alice. But for this one, let's look at the other bridges. And what's to say the other bridges didn't have similar setups? Seems like a likely thing to do. That's just what I was thinking of. I was willing to take the chance. I wasn't going to tangle with a group of armed men. See, they had guns, even if I lost some time. How much time did you lose? Well, that's the thing. I walked about a day? A day? How far away are they? Fell through incredibly terrible terrain towards the nearest bridge. Quakes had made the riverbank collapse in most places, and the river was for some reason churning, making it impossible to ford. And when we finally arrived, it was broken. Oh no. Yes, it had collapsed. Oh geez, no hope of getting over? Well, it had collapsed, but not totally. Half of it was dragging in the current, some cars still hanging on by some form of magic. Maybe it was possible to balance across, but it looked pretty risky. I was so damn disappointed, and tired, though it actually felt like a good idea. What about Chess and his sister? He told me not to go, that there was no way to get Mary across safely either. How about just backtracking instead? Yeah, we're gonna have to go back, 'cause Mary can't. So, I walked the day back just to end up where I started. Had anything changed in your absence? No, I approached carefully and hid without them seeing. Were they letting people pass now? Same as before. What did you do? Wait nearby and see what would happen. Let's try that. Somehow, it felt like this kind of thing couldn't be forever. Either a bigger or more powerful group. I should have confronted them. Chase them away. The government would show up and then they'd get bored and leave, so I decided to wait. Oh no! My unhappy face. Black rain. Dang. Alright, where did you hole up? There's actually a parking garage nearby. You can just stroll in and walk up to the other stories from where you had a perfect view of the river. Right. Not the best cover, though. I scouted through it and found a staff area. It was small but empty. What about supplies? There was always loot to be had from surrounding buildings, even if not all of it was perhaps the safest. I did a run before settling in, gathering what I could. Can I look at my... Still got the radio, still got... Okay. So, close that. So down to wait. How did that go? There's actually not much else to say. Huh? Well, I've been feeling it for a long time already, but by then, it just came to an end. I couldn't move anymore. I was too weak. I had to rest, but I couldn't even keep food down. In the end, I couldn't even stay conscious or talk. Radiation poisoning? Yes, of the acute bad kind. I suppose it's lucky I can't really say much more of my last time on Earth. I was too delirious, too out of it to really notice or realize anything anymore. I came in and out of it, but mostly I remember incredible pain whenever I was conscious. I remember Chess being there, comforting me, giving me water whenever I asked for it. But in the end, his face disappeared in a blur as well. And thus concluded my dream. Well, that was interesting. What do you think? I think it felt incomplete, like there was something missing. That wasn't the way it was supposed to end, you know? Dreams are supposed to end in a certain way. This one was. I think it felt like it was trying to tell me something, but I wasn't listening closely enough. Maybe you can try again next night. See if you hear the same recording. Speaking of, what frequency was this on? That's the weird part. When I tried to see, I realized I had hit the right channel, and there was in fact reading Alice in Wonderland. And this isn't exactly some obscure numbers station frequency on the AM bands. Well, maybe you'll dream it next night again, anyway. That's a good thing with dreams. You can always dream them again. And maybe do something different the second time around. No, we died again! But we got farther this time. We saved the sister. I can't let this video end like this. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna redo the things we did up until the points of the river and the bridge. And I'm gonna try just confronting them straight up. I want to try to see if I can get a better ending before this video ends. So I'll be right back, okay? Okay, so I I started the game again. I got Alice, I customized Alex exactly like we did before. I did all the exact things we did up until this point. So we are back on the river, on the bridge, and there's thugs there. So we're gonna go up to them and we're gonna confront them. Brave. I wasn't going to let them scare me. So what were they? Just thugs? Part opportunists, part worried townsfolk. They claimed that they were protecting their part of the town from riffraff who were coming down for their country from the city, trying to steal all their uncontaminated food. That this was just a kind of concerned citizens roadblock, of course. Conveniently in the way towards the main evacuation center. Yeah. But well, I mean, they had a lot of guns, but I didn't really detect a lot of malice in them. It didn't seem like they were particularly wanted to use them. That's good, at least. So what'd you do? I told them I had enough food and didn't need to steal theirs. I tried talking my way through. I decided to reconsider the whole... Let's try telling them, because we have... Oh, but what if they steal our food? What if they're lying and they steal our food? But she said she didn't detect... Alice didn't detect a lot of malice. Let's try this one. I told him the truth. No, I had nothing. I opened my pack to show him, and he grabbed it, emptying it out and rifling through the contents. So much for concerned citizen. So what'd they do then? They told me I was just a looter and I should fuck off. At least they gave me my pack. They took our to which you replied? I tried talking my way through. Ah, yes, the famous fast talk. How did that go? I didn't fast talk, I just told them the truth. I was there to help Chess and his sister across. I told them the incredible lengths we'd gone to get where we were. I just told the truth. Did that just work? They said they could let Chess and her through. I would still need to be checked for supplies. And, well, I didn't have anything, so I just waved them goodbye. Oh no, what a story. Sorry, I didn't feel very prosaic. Anyway, I still needed to figure out what to do. I decided to reconsider the whole thing. I decided to back off. There had to be some other way around. Clever thinking. So what did you decide? Oh, so now I can go to the other bridge. Okay, now that Mary and Chess have gone through, I can go through the dangerous bridge. I was willing to take the chance. I wasn't going to tangle with a group of armed men, even if I lost some time. How much time did you lose? Well, that's the thing. I walked about a day through incredibly terrible terrain towards the nearest bridge. Quakes had made the riverbank collapse in most places, and the river was for some reason churning, making it impossible to ford. And when we finally arrived, it was broken. Yes, it had collapsed. Oh jeez, no hope of getting over? Well, it had collapsed, but not totally. Half of it was dragging in the current, some cars still hanging on by some form of magic. Maybe it would be possible to balance across, but it looked pretty risky. I was so damn disappointed and tired, though it actually felt like a good idea. How about just backtracking instead? No, damn it, I'd gotten this far, I was crossing! Such a bad idea, Alice. I wasn't sure how much longer I could go on without making a stupid decision. Or maybe this was my last straw. What was your plan? If I go slow, I might take too long, and the cars might give out under my weight. If I run fast, I might I'm gonna take it slow, and if it fails on me, I'll come back and run fast. Because I really want to try to get a good ending with this one. I edged my way across in fits and starts, but it still held a few cars, didn't it? What difference was one more human gonna make? When it started creaking, I picked up my feet. I was too far along to turn back. Told you so. I scrambled up on a car that started sliding. I tried to grab hold of something in a panicked scramble and managed to steady myself against a piece of railing. And then I was yanked bodily and violently backwards. My coat had somehow gotten snagged on the car. I couldn't even see how. I barely had time to scream before I was already underwater, seeing nothing but bubbles and the rapidly disappearing light. Jesus, Alice. I wouldn't recommend drowning to anyone, but luckily it was just the first breath that hurt. after that, I just kind of drifted off. And we died. Okay, I'll be right back. We're gonna run fast. Okay, so now we're gonna run as fast as we can. Come on, guys. We're the gingerbread man. No, we're Alice, but we're Alice as the gingerbread. I don't know what I'm saying. We're running really fast over the bridge. My resolve almost failed me when the remnants of the bridge started creaking underneath me. Imagine the feeling of something so massive actually moving as you moved. It felt like it collapsed at any moment. You're insane. She's almost mad as a hatter. I ran the first stretch easy enough, climbing over a car just about to collapse into the abyss. As my feet hit the ground on the far side of it, it started to move and groan, and the whole bridge shuddered like a drunk trying to keep his footing. Uh-oh. I ran faster. There was a narrow stretch of rebar. I didn't stop. I just balanced out on it like some action hero and ran across. I have no idea how I did that without falling off. Didn't you tell me a story the other day about how you fell off your stepladder in the kitchen when you tried to reach the top cupboard? Dream Me is more badass than that. Yeah, she confronts guys with guns and stuff. So did you make it across? The bridge was falling behind me, being swept away by the river, and I dashed as fast as I could. I almost thought I made it when something nagged my heavy backpack. What? Snagged it? I think it was a piece of bridge support or railing or something. I was just ducking underneath some rubble when it happened. My backpack got caught. I felt the ground shift underneath me while I struggled without getting it off. No way. I was dragged across the tilted bridge by an unstoppable force while I scrambled helplessly for a handhold, but even if I found one, it would have been too late. Me and a few tons of concrete and rebar and cars all tumbled together into the river. That's nightmare material right there. Luckily, I got most of my breath knocked out of me when I hit the water. And then, I don't remember much else. Darkness, panic, that first breath that was painful, and then nothing. And she died. I think, okay. There's one more thing I can think of. But because we could try crossing the bridge before confronting the thugs, and maybe Chess would save us, but then the bridge would be gone. I don't think this I'm gonna have to end this video here. We know how this dialogue goes. She died, it was weird. She actually was listening to the reading about someone, and we know how this dialogue goes. But yeah, I don't know how to save her in that scenario. I really don't. I'm gonna try one more thing. I'm gonna try, because there were supplies in the building. So we're gonna go to the building. I'm gonna try going to the building, getting supplies, going to the bridge, confronting the thugs, and then maybe the three of us could cross. If that happens, then I'll show you that and we'll continue it. If it doesn't happen, then that's really gonna stink. But I don't want to give up just yet. I'm gonna try it. I'll be right back. Okay, so I tried going back and going to the garage building and like getting supplies, but the thing is, when you do that, no matter what, you die from radiation poisoning. That's just, so doing that did not save Alice. Alice, I guess, just has to, the custom version that I did of Alice there apparently just has to die in that section. So I'm gonna leave this video here for now. That is it for now. Next video, we're gonna try playing Dark Alice, and maybe Dark Alice will survive because she has the power of darkness and evil and all that. I don't know. Maybe she'll have magic and she'll be able to float over the bridge that's broken. I don't know. But that's all for now. Thank you so much for watching. I've been recording this for about an hour and my back hurts. I've been recording in general for about 2 hours, but just this game has been 1 hour. So, thank you for watching. I hope you liked the video, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye bye! So what'd you do? Oh, Cheshire Cat. Let's see, I went online to find out what was going on. I tried immediately to call Chess. I'm gonna call the Cheshire Cat. Chess? Who's that? My, boyfriend. I mean, I don't have a boyfriend, but in my dream I did. Alright, bestiality.
This is my room.
Hey!
Bree was a killer all along!
Yeah! Hey!
Wow, Bree, Jesus Christ.
Jeez, Bree.
Wow, Bree, Jesus. Wait, no. Wow, Phoenix, Jesus Christ, man.